For many parents, just getting their teenagers out of bed can be a serious chore, but you're about to meet a family where that just isn't a problem. 16-year-old Kayla Nisbet is passionate about becoming a jockey, and that means getting up hours before dawn, even in the dead of winter. She even convinced her parents to let her give up school to follow her dream. One of 6 girls in a family dominated by the love of horses and racing, Kayla has some very important silks to fill. Reporter Craig Allen and cameraman Adam Wyatt braved the sub-zero temperatures this week to learn about the rewards and risks of race riding.
I'm 16, finished year 10 this year. I dropped out a little bit, but I've decided to take up a career as a jockey, following my dad's footsteps. I've wanted to be one since I was little, since I can remember, and it's now finally happening. Well, we normally get up at 3:30 and start at about 4 at the stables, and we'll feed all the horses up and get all the boxes done. And then me and Dad go out and ride whatever horses need to be ridden and do all the work on them, while Shani fixes them up, hoses them and does all the groundwork.
So I help them do the boxes, feed up, sweep, hose the horses, put the rugs on, put them away, saddle the next ones for them. I do everything like that. But they reckon their job's hard, but I think that I've got the worst part of it.
There's a lot of the downsides to it, like getting up early and in this cold, and I've been sick for a while now, and then you can't really have days off because the horses are animals. They always need to be fed and looked after, so it is tough, but it's very rewarding as well at the same time, I would say. The riding part of it's fun.
Just when you get the 300, go a bit quicker.
Alright.
And let him rip up. Look, it was never a flash in the pan thing. She's sort of been saying it for 3 or 4 years. So we sent her to Sydney she couldn't ride a horse really. Sent her to Sydney for a course. She come back and she was setting her alarm herself at 4:30 every morning and coming down and riding work, and she gradually got better. And she said, I've had enough of school, and it was probably 4 or 5 months of doing that. So I thought, well, she's dedicated, so you know, I thought I'd better support her. Just go out, Kayla, and go a couple of quiet laps.
Okay.
Go and get some and pacifiers. I'll put on his head because he might be a bit fresh today.
Alright. Mum and Dad, they weren't too keen on the idea of it at first, but they warmed to it. And it's a lot easier for me for what I'm doing now, to not go to school and not have to worry about that and all the assignments and that. Because I didn't finish year 10, I didn't get my certificate. I have to go back to school if it doesn't work out for me, but I think my weight's alright at the moment, and I just need to keep improving and practice, keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully I'll get there.
In the last probably 3 or 4 months, she's really got better and better and better, and yeah, she's going well. She's got to strengthen up a bit, but that'll all come. But she understands what I'm trying to tell her, and she's willing to learn. So yeah, I think she's got something.
We just canter them around the sand track a couple of laps usually for a few weeks, and then they'll slowly start to work on the synthetic track and quicken their speed up on that track, and then they'll be in their full work.
They've all got different personalities. Some are just bland and, they just go through the motions, but yeah, there's a lot you get attached to, especially if they run fast. But he's shown a bit of ability. He's a beautiful horse. Yeah, friendly big bugger.
They're off. Fairly good start, although Bold went back to the tail of the field with Frisk Me.
I left school probably when I was 15 and a half from a non-racing background. No one had anything to do with racing, and just decided I wanted to be a jockey because I was a bit little and didn't know what else to do. And I started in Sydney, and I won the apprentice premiership in Sydney one year, and then once I came in my time I struggled a bit, then ended up in Canberra. I won the Canberra premiership one year, but I think I rode about 700 winners.
But Shanville puts up a very tidy effort, and Shanville racing away. Shanville by a big space. Ridden by John Nisbet for Queanbeyan trainer Brian M. Smith. A very smart mare this one. I had a bad fall, and my shoulder, I felt it wasn't right, but I didn't go to the doctor and stupidly had another ride in between. And then I went back out and raced 2 weeks later, and I knew it wasn't right, and the horse come out a bit funny at the barriers, and I crashed and broke my shoulder blade, and then my wife said, look, I'd rather you give it away. But a race falls can be a pretty traumatic thing. It's different to say, riding track work, I don't think there's any danger in that, basically. But when there's a race and there's a lot of horses around you, it's a different kettle of fish altogether.
I feel pretty comfortable and relaxed on a horse. I know that they're going to happen. It's expected that I'm going to fall off and have falls. I'm prepared for that, but I don't really think about it. You just got to take risks and hope for the best.
Race riding can be dangerous, but what do you do? She's passionate about it and she's dedicated, and so you have to support them, I suppose.
They've got 6 of them anyway.
We just live on track, and it's come down to work, and because it's a long day, we come back in the afternoon. So yeah, it suits us. They can't sleep in. That's the best part, because they're too close to me.
There's 2 youngest ones. They're twins, and they're just turned 10. And then there's another set of twins, and they're 14, I think. And they're not really interested in racing or horses for that matter, but they all really love their hockey and playing hockey and their school and their friends, just like other kids.
When John and the girls are at the races, the other girls and I go to hockey, and gives us something to do, so it's good. Kayla said from about the age of 9 that she wanted to be a jockey, but I dismissed it because I thought she'd probably have my height and get too big, and I really didn't contemplate that it would happen, and now that it has, it's exciting, but it's very scary. Yeah. I think the barrier trials are okay, but come race day I think that's going to be a whole different thing. Yeah. Probably, to be honest, I'd probably rather she did something else, but at the end of the day, if that's what she wants to do, then yeah. I couldn't cope when John was riding, particularly in the end, when the kids were all really little, so it's going to be a lot harder seeing Kayla, yeah.
I'll help you now.
Oh, thanks, Mum. At the moment, I think that this will pay off in the end, definitely. It's better than school and worrying about friendship groups and that sort of thing. Well, I have to pass 20 barrier trials by the steward, so they're just unofficial races pretty much, and I've had 7 of those so far, and once I've done that, once they pass me to start riding in races, I'm right to go.
When I started, girls really weren't accepted. There wasn't many of them. But over probably the last 10 years, there's probably more girls, young girls, trying to do it now than young boys. I don't know why, or it's a weight, or just, I don't know. But, look, it's more accepted now, and, because she's grown up, with me, she tends probably to know a lot more people than the average kid would, which helps her. So she's probably a bit more comfortable in that environment.
I definitely want to eventually prove myself as a Sydney apprentice or jockey, be like Kathy O'Hara up there with the best riders, competing with male riders and proving yourself as a female rider up there, and hopefully riding in big races like every jockey wishes to be and winning them. It's exciting, it's very good, I like it. It's very eventful at times, but it's different to a lot of other 16-year-old girls' lives, going to the races and getting up early and riding work. It's just, I love it. It's a very exciting lifestyle.